It's Alysia, Nora, and Macy on our little green couch.
Ready to talk weekly gossip from behind the chair.
Have a drink or 10 and get ready for the journey.
Join us on the floor with Little Fern. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back on the floor.
Welcome in. Grab a drink. Grab your beverage of choice. Do you know that when you come into our salon at Little Fern that you are offered a beverage of your choice? We have a variety from coffee to tea to ice water to sparkling water to alcohol. You name it. But I think with that comes a little bit of a beverage anxiety, shall we say?
Absolutely. I'm usually the person that offers these individuals drinks and these clients drinks as they come in. And I always feel a sense of hesitation, as if I know that they want a drink and they can, you can tell when somebody's parched, and then they say no kind of haphazardly, and then I ask again, and they tell me no, and then like 10, 15 minutes later, however long it takes them to be extremely dehydrated, then they ask for a drink.
Do you think that they think they have to pay for it?
I will tell you firsthand that when I was younger, I always thought that I would have to pay for it. So I did always say no.
You always said no?
Yeah.
We offer free drinks. So let's preface this. We have a nice little fridge, not super mini, but probably about like 5, 6 foot high, little fridge. And we have some high noons in there, wine. We have all the alcoholic beverages. We know that you need to take a fucking load off sometimes, okay? Then we have the sparkling waters. We have regular water. We have tea. We have a whole coffee cart with some nice tea selections on there and coffee selections.
I know that I love tea so much that I kind of went a little wild when purchasing teas.
Oh, absolutely. Especially like, also the different functioning teas for like, this is a go to bed tea, or this is for this. I mean, guys, I have been to both Alysia and Nora's house, and their tea drawers are absolutely absurd.
Single tea drawers. It's just all the tea all the time.
I love that both of us have tea drawers.
But Nora's is a lot more complex than yours, ironically enough, because yours is combined because you have an equal love for coffee. And yes, Nora, I know you love coffee, but like, the coffee setup that they have, guys, is absolutely absurd, might I say.
I usually just buy my coffee.
I did get wild. I do both. I do both. But I've also learned that like my love for going to get coffee is because I like the act of like going out of the home, the activity of going to get coffee. I like that the girls know my name. It's like cheers. Everyone knows your name.
So it's the experience.
Yes. It might not always be like the coffee that's like better. It's like going to get the coffee. It's somebody else making me a coffee.
So this is like a perfect example of a millennial who has like a pretty like decent job and they can have this experience. For me, my version is a little different. As a Gen Z, you guys know that I'm still living in my house. I know it's super embarrassing. Anyways, I have a cabinet with a shelf that has about 2 inches for two tea options. I get the lemon one. My mom gets the cinnamon one because I hate cinnamon tea. Personally, it's not refreshing for me. It's not giving tea in my head.
That is giving Carol, though,
Isn't it?
that she likes
Like
cinnamon tea.
It's like a cinnamon tea. I don't know why. I'm like a
It is making me kind of want some cinnamon tea, though. It's not something I usually am wanting.
Crazy. I love cinnamon coffee. I love a cinnamon latte. I would never drink a cinnamon tea.
That's what I'm saying. I am the exact same way. Cinnamon coffees are like a nice like frappuccino or like even like a cinnamon like oatmeal, like oat milk. That sounds amazing, but like for some reason cinnamon like tea has never really made me like want it. So we're not doing that. But yeah, 2 inches with the nice tea boxes. And I just am putting this out in the universe that I aspire to have a tea drawer and a coffee drawer like Nora and Alysia. That is my TED Talk.
Namaste.
Well, let me tell you about a lovely client that I have that prefers to bring her own personal tea bag every single time she comes in because she has a preference. We all have preferences. I love, a tea that I love. And so she brings in a tea, and it's funny because it's a quite popular tea, and we have had it here on occasion. Like we've carried this tea, so it's not like it's a tea that you can't find. Like,
So we know like what this packaging looks like.
yes.
What's the process of ripping it open from the package and, plopping it in there? Well,
Every one she brings is old. It's expired.
and the thing is, it's not just like, oh, like you can tell it's old because maybe it's not getting as much flavor, or I don't know, like the bag looks a little old, but everything else is fine. Yes, the bag, it honestly, when I got the first one, it looked normal until I ripped it open and I pulled it out. You take it by the string, and the string immediately separated from the bag. And I was like, I've never had that experience with tea. Like, I feel like they're always pretty firmly on there. And then I put it in there because I was like, okay, she'll just have to fish it out with a spoon. No, it literally, the bag unraveled at the top too. So it floaters everywhere. And she's like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, so clearly this has happened before.
Oh, it was like a crusty, dusty tea bag. It was sad. And then it makes you wonder, did she buy it in like such bulk at a place where she's had it now for so long? Or is she only bringing this tea when she's getting her hair cut and it's tea time?
How often does she get her hair done?
Every 5 weeks.
Okay, but that's not, I'm just saying a 5 week old.
That's what I'm saying. She has one tea bag every 5 weeks.
You're an avid tea drinker, and she definitely is an avid tea drinker, where it's like, that she's going through the tea bags like water. And so, first of all, tea expiring like that in the first place is also, I feel like, pretty much unheard of. Maybe like a year or two, I feel like I would give like a tea bag. How old are these tea bags that are sitting back in like her like cupboard?
Well, one is an accident. Two, coincidence. Three, four, five, six down the road. Now we have an issue.
We have a pattern.
Yes. And so much so now that she's like aware of it. And she like commented this last visit and said, man, I really got to stop bringing in these expired tea bags. And I thought, so now we look at each other and we look down at the cup, and it's just, again, an exploded tea bag that's just got like loose leaf now tea floating around in there.
Nobody wants like a fucking like dried petal getting in their mouth while they're drinking tea, or like, you're like, it's like, you have that little speckle on your tongue. It's like nobody
Constantly like cleaning it from your tooth.
wants that, but it's also like, it's never phased her. She's always like, oh, it's fine. I'm like,
Well, this last one we had to do, when you're like making a drink and you're little and you're sick and you have a 7 Up and you want it to be flat 7 Up, and you like toss it back and forth between a glass so that you can, it loses its bubbles. This is what we were like homemade straining it between cups this last time. And I thought, this is the end. We're done. I said, I'm going to buy you the tea that we're going to store here, and you can have it every time you would like, but it's going to not be expired. And she I'm going to gift that to you because like, I love this, but this has taken far too much of our time. And I think we need to like, can we throw away the tea bags now?
I think this is definitely something that even funny enough that you could probably bring up with her and like be like, so seriously, I need to know about these tea bags. Because I'm actually so curious how.
We will get to the bottom of this tea bag issue with her, but like in the meantime, we can get the tea here. And I think she really needs to like start treating herself a little bit. I don't know why she gets the shitty tea bag for her salon experience and not like the good tea bag she's enjoying at home. Like there's nothing wrong with like just a little on sale tea purchase that's not expired.
Or just getting a tea that's here. Like there's no need to bring your own bag.
I also just want to preface this with, It is a tea that is readily available at your local Starbucks.
I don't know that it is anymore.
Oh, is it not anymore?
It is still from the tea brand that sells it.
Okay, but it might not be at your like Starbucks.
It is a hard one to get, knowing what I know about this particular tea. And I know the main ingredient in it. And guess what? Traditional medicinals makes this particular ingredient of tea.
It's not like that's what I was going to say out there, world. It's not a hard tea to purchase. It's not wild.
It's made, the main ingredient is hibiscus.
Yeah.
It's like at the moment, we do have like a cart that is full of coffees and teas. And like, we're not just offering like one or two different kinds of coffees or one or two different kind of teas. Like, we have a variety. And when I mean a variety, I mean like 5 to 10 options. Usually it's a good like 7 to like even 15 options of tea bags that you can have. We have mint, we have decaf, we have the green teas, we have all the different kinds of teas that you could possibly have. We even have a chakra tea or whatever. And she's acting like she can't find an option here.
I need to tell you guys about the fact that I have been dipping into Sherwin-Williams, our favorite store, from time to time, needing like paint samples for the rental house. And I don't know if you've noticed this, because Alysia is also a Sherwin-Williams girl. They have a pretty decent coffee station there. Like, I did not realize that it was going to be like that until I looked over and was really examining it, waiting for my paint sample. And I almost dipped into it just seeing the selection. So like, when you see a selection like that, it's hard to resist saying yes.
I'm going to tell you a lot of places have a really nice complimentary coffee bar. My Audi dealership, where I spend a fair amount of time.
Only her Audi dealership. These just casual places. She's just casually going and popping in and saying hi to her engineer or mechanic.
Places you're just popping by on a reg, just hanging out, So if you're ever there, just grab a coffee.
Shout out to Gerald.
Anywho, no, a lot of places have really nice complimentary coffee bars. And, we like to have an elevated game as well. And we also don't want you to feel like we are limiting you to just, do you want some Aveda tea?
Did they only have one kind?
No, shots fired.
Losers. Just saying, Alysia and Nora have upped their game from their last employment. Are we allowed to talk about this on podcast?
Yes.
Because we've never dove into the drama.
I mean, we didn't sign NDA. No, I'm sure. No.
No, we didn't sign anything.
We don't sign things.
They'll only sign their lives away for like a year's worth of coffee.
Oh, yes.
See?
Starbucks, hit us up. What? I'm just kidding. They would never. Maybe Dunkin'.
Maybe the bagel bites.
Some blueberry.
I was just at Dunkin' today. Again, the rental house comes into play, and I'm on my way to the rental this morning because now we're finishing construction, which every time I go into this fucking house, I'm like, I should have just laid the tile. I should have just painted the walls. I should have just taken the time off to do these things myself, because Rooster left drips on everything. And I knew that I could not go into the house before I had my Dunkin' coffee, which is down the street. But yeah, things are not progressing at all there. So I have to find myself in like little snippets of time of getting there and getting stuff done.
I thought Rooster left, so.
He did, but now every time I'm there, I see all of the bullshit that he like did not complete or did a shitty job of.
Things happen in your guys' lives that make me realize I am not the center of your world. Okay? And I know that sounds really conceited, but this is an actual reflection about the fact that like you have talked about this rental house, and in my head it seemed like a fictional like plot happening on the side. Like, I have a really hard time putting myself in other people's shoes. And then she goes and she shows me, like, the video of, like, like a tour of this rental house. And, like, it's an actual thing. And it looks really good, by the way. Like, Nora has, like, talked about it, here and there, giving us updates or grievances or whatever's going on with the rental home. And it looks beautiful. And so it's just a very weird moment, but I'm so happy for you.
They are in their Chip and Joanna Gaines era. So
We're not quite there yet, but I would like us to get there for sure.
they do a lot of things, but like for a minute they were like going in and rehabbing your home. So like you had a home and you had like it wasn't quite right or you didn't love it and like
But yeah, this happens a lot where they say these things and then I'll like laugh with them because I don't want to like make them feel stupid.
first of all, you're not making us feel stupid. What happens is you're laughing along and then like 10 minutes later she's like, "Wait guys, what's this?"
It's called social anxiety, and I feel like I want maybe people pleaser. I feel like I need to please everyone. So I just laugh at everybody's jokes, even if I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. I'm like, so funny.
You're so funny. And
So silly. So silly.
I'm just in disbelief that this is happening behind our backs and we don't even know it some of the time. Like there's a lot of times where you ask us what stuff means. Like, how many are the other times where you don't and you just laugh?
Like 100% of the time, but I only ask questions 50% of the time because asking questions 100% of the time is really fucking annoying.
I 100% see that. So I'm very thankful that you don't ask 100% of the time.
Yeah, exactly. I've become better at lessening my voice, but I still like to talk, so here we are.
No, we never want you to be less than. What we want you to do is
I don't think it's a bad thing to like take a step back a little bit because especially as an ADHD girly, I can be real hyper sometimes. Then I'm like, oh my God, take it down a notch. Like even some episodes that I listen to where I like just start singing it to the mic and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
That is where we get like a little concerned about you from time to time. And it's just like, what's happening with Macy? But like the one time that it wasn't happening was a time that we thought that it was happening and it wasn't. A couple weeks ago when you were watching Alicia's dogs for her, and there was a little incident that popped up. And you were being a little Macy because you were like, I'm not going to look at my phone for 30 minutes.
Well, to be fair,
turned out she didn't have her phone on her.
I didn't have my phone on me. So what had happened was for a like little long weekend, I went and I dog sat at Alicia's house because naturally when she goes out of town and it's like an overnight stay, she usually either asks me or like her mom, but especially like longer stays, she'll usually ask me because, it's just I'm younger and it's just easier for me not having my own house and everything.
Wait till Barb hears this.
Barb loves it. Barb loves that Macy watches the dogs.
Yeah.
They like have a routine worked out now.
I think we have a mutual thing. Even like she was so hyped about the fact that like I would be coming back like during the trip for Belize, and she's like, "That works for me, Macy. I'll text you." And I'm like, "Gotcha, Barb."
Yeah, they like got each other's numbers. They're on it. They have like
Me and Barb exchanged numbers. We're homies.
I was in Vegas. My hubby's had a convention that he had to go to. It was like a long week, so he asked me if I would join him for the weekend portion. He had to go in a little early, so I said, sure. So we went to Vegas, where it was equally as cold there as it is here, and that was very sad. But what I was doing was catching up on the newest season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Getting all that juicy gossip. I had just worked out in their very fine facilities, and I was soaking in my soaking tub in my sweet hotel room.
Okay, pause.
It was great.
What is the difference between a tub and a soaking tub?
Oh, okay. Well,
Because I'm like, so what does that even mean?
a soaking tub is a tub that's like big enough for your whole body to like it goes down. Yeah, or it can be a basin. Like there's different styles of a soaking tub.
This wouldn't be a problem ever for you in any size tub with the size that you are, Macy. But for tall girls.
Like us tall girls need a soaking tub. So this one, you actually had to walk up to it, and like it had steps, and then you got down into it, and it had benches inside of it. So it was very deep. So this one then like went to like my collarbone. So, and then it had a ledge. So you had like, you put your arms out on the ledge and then your whole body was under. And it was big enough for about two people. comfortably.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I also, this is like, is Nora, not Nora, Alicia then sends us a picture naturally into our group chat talking about this like soaking pool or whatever it's called. When I say soaking, I just think of Mormons. Oh my goodness, sorry. Um, so soaking pool tub. And I get a text message, we get a text message into the group chat talking about it. And then I'm driving back from my house because at the time my mom went downtown to see my sister. So I was in charge that day to like go and let them out for briefly, let them out, make sure they're fed and they go pee and everything. And then I immediately came back to Alicia's. And so during this time, I was listening to a podcast in my car. I think I was listening to Brittany at the time. Shout out to Brittany's, audiobook and everything. And so I put it in like my center console, and I had so much stuff when I was coming back to your house because I think I brought like a change of clothes and stuff like that, which is something that I have a little duffel. It barely holds anything. So I kind of like bring it back and forth. And so I grabbed that, and I think I had something else in my hands. And so clearly I just wasn't thinking about my phone. Also, I immediately started cleaning Alicia's kitchen because after like being at Alicia's for like a day or two, the dishes start to pile up and I like need to clean them. So I cleaned them and I was cleaning the entire house. Me and the dogs were listening to music. We were chilling. We were having the best time. At one point, I went and I took the trash out. So I did it in 2 trips, okay? And so the first one, she has these like trash bins where you, at least for me, I couldn't bring like the actual bag out. So I just brought the whole like piece of the, because it's, a two-sided garbage can. So I brought piece number one, which was the garbage. And so I dumped it in there. Dogs come out naturally. Oh, come on. She has like this, what's the gate? Can you describe it? I'm having a hard time describing it.
It's a very large barn door, but it slides. It's very large though.
Yes. And it's like a heavy door, like, and also hooks and everything, but it connects to like her fence and also her like garage. So like their yard is completely fenced in and it's enclosed at that part where the barn door slides. So when you open the barn door, the backyard, the dogs can come out onto the driveway. And so I opened the barn door. The dogs don't go far. They usually just are right behind me and they come back in. And so I was doing the first one, came, slid the door, saw both dogs behind me, and then I was taking the recyclables out, and those ones are actually in the bin too, so I just took the whole thing with me. And so I poured it in there, did the same thing, but into like the recycling bin. Dogs follow me. I saw Baloo right behind me, and, like, turned my head and he was there. And so I was like, oh, like Odin, I didn't even see him out here. He didn't even come out here. So I closed the door, whatever, go inside. And then like 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh, I wonder if like Odin's out in the yard. He didn't come with us. So then at that time, I immediately went and I saw his paws by the gate and I let him in. It was a very nonchalant, when I tell you, the dog was outside of the fence, I would say less than 30 seconds.
Which makes 100% sense because let me tell you that this has happened to us now 3 times. So,
and she's told me about this.
Yeah.
So like, I wasn't surprised because immediately when he was in the backyard, I was like, oh, Alicia's told me about this before. He's definitely going to be at the sliding door. And he was there. And I let him back in and it was fine.
Our dogs are our shadows. They follow you in whatever you are doing 24/7. So you go to let the garbage out, they're of course going to follow you to let the garbage out. They need to see what you're doing. And when they were little, it was a very cute thing to do. And they don't wander. They're not really wanderers. But what's now started to happen is Odin is silent. He is quiet as a church mouse.
Dead quiet. And also, like, once you tell this, we're gonna have to say, like, we're gonna have to describe the video because I was like, how the fuck did I not see him? It's like I turned my head one way and he moved, and I turned my head the other way and he moved out of that side. Like, he knew which way I was turning my head, and I was like, you're knowing a little too much right now because I was just thinking about throwing the garbage in there. Like,
he's like stealth mode on. He's crazy quiet. So what has started to happen is he sees the door open and he goes, we're going out. And it's not like he's trying to flee. He's just excited to go to the driveway because there's like a big, there's a big like, I don't know, a bush.
Smells on it.
And it always has birds. So of course Yeah, so of course he loves to go over to the bush, check it out, see what's happening, what's the haps, what's going on over here. So you go to drop the garbage, he goes to the bird bush, and he loves to do it. And then Blue follows, but is like haphazardly following.
Okay, but also a thing that needs to be mentioned is because, well, I don't think this directly has to do with it, but Odin is silent. Even like at night when like he gets up and he's doing something, I won't know that he's getting into something. Like he is so quiet unless like it's like something that's really hard and you can hear him chewing it. Like you won't be like able to hear it. Baloo, on the other hand,
Blue makes so much noise.
he is like, it's like it sounds like there's a pack of raccoons wherever he is. Like, genuinely, it's like, what the fuck is going on? And then, like, you check the bathroom and he's looking at you with those doe eyes, like, oh, I did something. I'm like, yeah, I heard you. So and also, guys, he's disabled.
This exactly describes Jack because of Jack's disability of his back legs. And he does
Yeah.
sound like exactly
Yeah.
what you described the raccoons.
He has little bunny legs, like he hops like a little bunny, and he kind of bounces a lot. And
He just sounds a lot. He does not have a light touch to his step. And so it's just, he's coming, you know where he's at. And his hind back leg kind of whips. So he does knock into things. So he's not a quiet guy. Let's just say that. So you always know where Baloo is really kind of what's happening. He's not going to be sneaking into nothing. But Odin is definitely stealth. So what has started to happen is it's happened now to both me and Luke and now Macy. And so that's why I made sure to tell her is that they will go out with you and you will not realize that they have gone out with you. Always check around. And it scared me the first time. I don't know how long he was out there. 30, 40 minutes. Baloo was trying to open the back gate to like let his brother in. And I didn't realize, and I just saw the little feet on the other side and said, oh my God, there's a dog outside. And I realized it was my own dog. And then I said, oh my God, I'm the worst dog parent alive. Then it happened to Luke, and Luke goes, something, we had to start letting the garbage out in the front or something because like I didn't realize until Baloo alerted me that Odin was outside and he was just sitting outside waiting to come back in. So do I think he would really run away? I don't know because I think he just tries to come back in and no one's there to let him back in.
I think you've also gotten lucky too, where it's like he's probably been out where there's not like anybody on the street
Yes.
either. Because it's like, I mean, we know that they're not like aggressive dogs, but they will bark and they will run after somebody. Like that is something that I would expect at least, or at least for them to be barking a lot and like whatever.
I don't know, would Odin walk up to somebody? Would he? I don't see it. I have no clue what he would do. So
Yeah, so then this happens to me.
These are all of the questions being asked after Alysia gets like a notification on her phone.
So I'm watching Salt Lake City. I'm in the midst of a good episode. So I have my phone on. Don't ask me why. I didn't want to fuck around with the TV in the hotel. The TV was so bonkers. Like the remotes must have been dying or something because they were like not working. It was so fucking irritating. So I just said, I'm just gonna watch it on my phone, which is not something I would normally be doing. But I just had to get onto the juicy goss that was happening with Salt Lake City. So I'm watching it. I normally never really look that much at we have cameras at our house. We have two cameras, one on our driveway, one on our front door. I really don't look at them that often. They're going off left and right from like a rabbit, UPS, Amazon, my dog walker. I just kind of like see what's going on really fast and just brush it off. Well, I see that Macy's taking the garbage out, and then I see two dogs walk out with her. And I said, oh, whatever. And then it just kind of like cycles, keeps going. But what I see happen is Macy turns around and goes, okay, Baloo. And then I just see Odin still outside and nothing happened after that. So I go, oh my God, I don't think Odin went back in. I think she saw him. She didn't see him. She turned back around and only brought Baloo back in. And so I just quickly text her, Odin's still outside, blah, blah, blah. Thinking rectified. No worries. All good.
You guys know that I said I don't remember where I put my phone.
Well, I didn't fucking know that. I'm in Vegas.
That is because what I'm describing here, the reason that I wasn't responding is because after I had finished cleaning, I was like, oh, like I really want to go on my phone. And I was like, where's my phone? And I was like, oh, I must have left it in my car. What do you know? I go to my car and I see, guys, I fucking actually, let's do it.
I think it was probably, it's got to be like 15 or 16 calls.
I genuinely, this bitch called me an insane amount of times. She gave me one voicemail. One voicemail.
Well, I only,
And
yeah, well, I didn't go that far, but when I tell you, I got out of that hot tub, well, soaking tub, so fast, and I started thinking, I think I'm going to have a heart attack.
you called me 11 times. And then I think you texted me though, like another like 4 amount of times too.
Okay. Well, that didn't feel that excessive now looking back. That felt like the perfect amount of excess for the panic that I was having at the moment, thinking, it's now been 30 minutes. I don't know where my dog is.
It was around 30 minutes when I responded.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna read these off.
These scenarios that the three of us get into, where like a major trauma occurs. Alysia, I don't know what the order was. I got a phone call.
Well, I called my mom.
She was touching bases with everybody in town to try to like zone in.
Oh, this is what she said. Odin is outside at 2:04 p.m. He's in our driveway. Oh wait, no, actually reward. He's in driveway at 2:04. Macy, I'm gonna have a panic attack.
Mind you, I was already having a panic attack.
She was 100%.
And then I respond 23 minutes after that text. I was gone for like almost 40 minutes, actually.
It was long enough for me to call the cops, Nora, my dog walker, my mom, all of them to start convening on the house. So by the time Macy picks up, 35 minutes later, I said, well, a lot of people are headed your way.
She did say that. I was like, well, can you like send them away? Like, I was not nearly as concerned as she was but I could hear her breathing through the other. She was like, Macy, do you have the dogs? Like, I was like, yeah, I can tell you, like, you're really freaked out, like you're breathing like really crazily. And then she was like, well, there's so many people coming to you right now. And I was like, well, he's inside, so you can call him. And she's like, no, that's what you get. And I was like,
well, my mom was already on her way. And I felt like she deserved a visit from Barb.
5 minutes later, I get a visit from Barb, and then she starts playing mother on the dogs, and I was like, have I been horrible the entire day?
That felt rightfully so, because I was also on my way.
Or like, she comes and they're like, loving on her, like, oh, do you not have a treat or a toy? Oh, you need water. I was like, they just ran out. Now I look like I haven't put water down the entire day. I was like, God.
The best consequence you could possibly have had at that point then was being mommed by Barb.
And then I also was in the kitchen cooking. Like, I wasn't even like being unproductive and sitting on the couch. Like, I was doing shit, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, and now she knows how I use your kitchen. Like, I was like, I just had like everything like taken out. It was humbling to say the least, but also it was nice having Barb's company because we love Barb.
Yeah, I said, well, you got to deal with Barb now. Sorry.
I didn't realize you called off everyone else.
I did. I waited a few minutes for the
You didn't call off Barb?
for the cops, but I did. Well, because they weren't going to like send somebody to you. It was just like, let us know when you find him. And then I called them and they were Luke was like, she was too sweet. I was like, no, she wasn't. She loves dogs. She was like, oh my God, give him a kiss for me. I love animals. I'm so glad he was found. Luke was like, that was weird. I said, no, it wasn't.
It wasn't. She was just feeling in her feels because she's putting herself in that situation with her own birdies.
Yeah, it'd be like if I answered the phone and then somebody said, oh my God, I lost my dog. I'd be like, give me all the information I need to know. I'll go out looking for them. Is how I felt like she felt. So looking back, first of all, I didn't tell my husband until many, many hours later because I didn't. He would have literally dropped everything he was doing and been like, we need to be on the next flight out. He's a psychopath. You think I'm crazy? He's even crazier than I am.
They are my life.
Yes.
Do everything you can to save them.
We went to the vet once and he literally said he's all I have. He means everything to me. He's my life. Do everything you can. Meanwhile, the vet looks at me like, what about her?
It's like your child, you know? Like you're always gonna sacrifice your partner for your child.
So, Luke's crazy, but we love that about him, which I also feel like, samesies. They're our kids. We don't have kids, and that's what we got.
I'm a little nervous to see him in his competition element this weekend when we have our bunco game because he wins every time.
Every time. Every year he goes. I'm so excited for bunco.
I still know pretty much nothing about bunco. I've been one time, but I will tell you it was a lot of fun. I feel honored to have been invited again, and I'm going.
Oh, I'm jazzed. I love bunco. Bunco is it's a dice game.
What is the game and how does one get invited?
Our friends Katie and Andy put on a big bunco game twice a year typically. So I don't know if they've already done their other one or, it's like usually once in the winter. Oh, the other one is usually either like Halloween time or it varies. But bunco is a dice game. It's a very easy game of, honestly, some would say chance. Luke would say luck. But you are literally rolling for each, like you'll sit and it'll first be ones, then it'll be twos, then it'll be threes, and you're rolling for those numbers. And then if you get like your hand is just ones, then you will get a bunco, you will get like a pair, you will get like it's a very, very easy dice game to play while drinking, while hanging out, while in pairs.
That sounds like people get hammered. Is that so fun?
Yes. Well, let me tell you also, you can never have the same partner. So what you do is you keep rotating tables and rotating partners. So it's constantly new. So it's a huge night full of many couples. And the objective is one, to hang out with all new people, but two, you're constantly rotating tables, you're rotating people. And so it's just very fun because you're always around friends, but you're always with other people. So me and Luke, you get there and then you're kind of like, hey, bye. And then you're just like, you're mingling for the rest of the night.
At the time that I got invited previous to COVID, I believe it was, that was my first time. And I was also honored then. But like Bill and I didn't know we were going to separate because I knew mostly everybody who was there playing ish. And like he didn't know anybody except for just like, the 4 people. So we did get separated and I didn't know what kind of night it was going to be. And it did end up being like a blackout Bill night.
I love hearing about Blackout Bill.
Machete came out.
Yeah, he did. This was at the time where he was like really getting into bourbon. So he would like drink brown.
Did he bring a bottle or I don't remember. I think we stopped and he brought a bottle.
He always wants to stop somewhere before we go somewhere.
I remember being a very fun night. And I just remember, was that the night that Brittany spilled wine on the carpet?
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was a good night.
That was the night where I came up with that drink of the apple bubbly mixed with the salted caramel vodka.
Oh, yes.
With a splash of something.
That was a fall favorite for a while.
Like apple juice or something, or apple cider.
Yeah, it
was real good.
It was a good fall favorite.
It tasted like a Barb's candy sour apple.
Yes. Mm-hmm, those suckers.
Though it was a blast. We had lots of drinks. Bill was mixing the bourbon and then he would be like, oh, I should slow up on the bourbon. So now I'm going to start drinking White Claws for the rest of the night.
Bourbon and White Claws, like that?
What a combo.
He's giving college.
He does give college when he turns into Machete.
A majority of a lot of the people there are a big ISU crew that all went to college together. So you do feel kind of transported back to college while hanging out. So rightfully so, you do kind of feel like go college when
Go
you are,
hard.
yeah, when you are hanging out, for sure.
That's pretty much like my intro into knowing Alysia was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to really like build my tolerance to hang out with these people because I've been drinking like Milwaukee's best at parties, like beer.
Oh my God, the first time that I partied with you guys, I was like, oh, I don't know anything about drinking. And I've drank a lot before meeting you guys.
Don't know what that means, and now I'm scared. Does that mean we drink too much?
No, it's just like you drink. Sometimes you have just nights where you drink like you're in college, and then
No, like, but they also roll up. Like, it is their last time ever getting together. Like, each person has like a bag of weed. Somebody has a joint. There's like 5 different packs of edible kinds going around. So Nora's got her 2 going around, and then Jessica pulls hers out from her purse. And while at the meantime, she pulls out a pen. So she's not only holding on to a pen, but she's also holding on to the gummies. And then we're getting the drinks. But then at the same time of the drinks, we're doing shots. Because everybody has their own goal. It's going to be the people that are getting stoned, getting passed out to everyone, and then the people that are getting drunk, passed out to everyone. Last time when we were there for the gala, that literally happened. Somebody was getting drinks out of the fridge, another person was pouring shots, and another was passing around the weed.
That is very true. I was the one making shots.
Yeah.
Now that I remember it, I was shotting. So yes, accurate.
And I was shotting with you. I think I took an edible, and then a moment later I took a shot, and I was like, woo!
You know, we really, really like to go hard as if it is like our last night all together, as if we're never gonna see each other ever again.
Well, you guys also just like, you guys are just all on the same level too. I think that also helps with the fact that like everybody's like, fuck yeah, hand me that. I want some. Like nobody's ever like, no.
it's like a Paul Rudd movie, or like what's the one? Oh, it's called Date Night with Tina Fey and Steve Carell, where they're like, we're gonna do it. We're going to the city tonight.
Yeah, because it's also like nobody's like, no, like everybody is just down for that night. They may not be doing that drug all year, but for that night, because they were offered it at this gathering, they will be doing it.
I don't know what that is about.
I think I only gravitate towards people that are always just down, I guess, is really what it is.
It's surprising to me that you guys aren't like huge drug addicts.
We don't do drugs, though.
I know, but like like you meet some people and you're like, oh yeah, their vibe, they definitely are doing some drug.
We're not even like passing around our prescriptions.
They're just high on life. The crazy part is they're millennials and they're high on life, and that is the difference between millennials and Gen Zs. Is millennials can just have fun doing the basic shit. Gen Zs, for some reason, need to do like fucking acid to have fun. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, I've never even done like anything. Like that's the crazy thing.
This really got out of control.
I'm just happy that I have a fun group of friends. We like to bunko like grandmas.
Yeah, we're going to be bunkoing. We're going to be playing a competitive game. It's not going to be what was just described.
What was just described is Lollapalooza. What we're going to be doing is rolling some die, and
I'm going to have some high noons for sure.
and I'm going to roll it in the dip. I'm going to be doing some dips. I know there's going to be a lot of dips there.
Oh, yeah.
We're having a dip week too. Nora placed an order to Meyer and she got 2 different kinds of dips. For some reason, she was in a spicy mood, but I've been loving it because the spice has been spicing.
This week we be dipping.
You know, I could really always get down on a dip. No, I need to tell you a story, Nora, about a Friday morning when Dunkin' Donuts forgot to bring us a bagel bite.
Like this is the most recent. This happened one Friday. You mean last week? A long time ago.
Let me tell you a tale of many of Fridays, aka last Friday. when Macy collects the DoorDash order, and we pretty much, me and Macy pretty much eat the same thing, and it was supposed to be two orders of bagel bites, and because they slay, and two orders of hash browns, like the mini hash browns, and to Macy's dismay, when she opens the mag, there's only one order of bagel bites. And this bitch you would have thought the apocalypse happened.
Really hungry that morning, guys. I was so hungry the night before and I didn't eat dinner.
No, and you would have thought she didn't even let me take a photo to tell them that we had missed it because this bitch had already eaten them 2 seconds later.
When you're on your phone, you kind of get a little honed in, and I could have sworn you were on your phone for like 3 minutes.
It was not. I was literally on the app trying to refund because I was like, well, they missed it. We'll at least get a refund on them. I could she wouldn't even allow me that choice because she was so ravenous that she had to eat them immediately. And then was like, I was like, are you okay? Like, do we need to get you more food? Like, should we have gotten you more food?
My body is so weird when I don't have food. Like, it's like my body literally starts to break down. I just don't know if I'm just more sensitive, like when my blood sugar is low and I literally just get
Yeah.
I just need some sort of nutrients in me. But it happens a lot. I just have to eat within 3 hours of each other. I have to eat something.
Macy just needs snack packs or something hidden for her.
I don't know what it is. But I also am a meal girly though. So that's the problem about being a meal girly, especially at the salon. I like to wait until we order something. But sometimes they're not hungry and sometimes I'm like, it's not even mealtime. It's 10 in the morning and I'm ready for lunch.
Well, that's what I think happened was that she hadn't eaten dinner the night before.
Low blood sugar.
And then, I mean, it wasn't like it came late. It was the first thing we did was we ordered Dunkin', but it was funny. It wasn't it was just the funniest thing ever because I was just trying to get a refund for us, and I was like, there was nothing left in the bag. She goes, take a picture of the empty bag. I was like, what? I was like, okay.
Can't help it. I just get really hungry. And then it's like I don't know what happens, but then I'm just munching and feels like the potato famine. It literally feels like I need to eat right now. I'm never gonna eat again.
Are you going to starve yourself for this weekend? Or can you not behave like that at the nice restaurant for your plans this weekend?
Oh, I definitely wasn't starving this weekend.
Oh,
This
okay.
past weekend. This past weekend, I made a nice trip. I've been here once before. And for those who know this area, I know it's just amazing. I went to Carnival, the restaurant downtown, and it's not only great it's South African food, right?
I feel like the menu just changes all the time. It's a seasonal rotating menu.
But anyways, they have really good food, seafood, steak, pasta, you name it. It's just good food, good desserts, good drinks, and it's also carnival themed. So it's super bright and beautiful colors and vibrant colors. And then you go into one room and it's dark, moody lighting, and there's so much stuff all over the walls. It's an experience when you go to this place, is essentially what I'm saying. Very fun. It was her birthday this past week, and we went, and it was so much fun. I took my boyfriend with. It was his first time going to the city in 2 years, guys. He does not like the city. He gets very anxious from it, so we've been trying to work on it. And also I did say that he needs to be there for the things that I do more. So,
This is giving me Bill PTSD.
yeah. And so I asked him if he would come. He said that he would, and he made it. He came down with us. He didn't no fuss, no buts, nothing. And it was a good time. I obviously could tell that he was anxious, but he had his nicotine, he had drinks in his system. He was fine. It numbed it a little bit. He was good. It was a good time. I also wore a really cute dress, and so I felt very pretty for once and forever.
Adorable.
I had a boyfriend that wouldn't go to the city as well. What about the city makes him nerve?
He doesn't like the hustle bustle of it, so many people being in one place. I think it might be a sensory thing. Because it's any place where it's a lot of people talking or just so much going on, honking cars and just everybody being so close together is just something that he just doesn't like.
Is he much of a traveler then, or no?
He actually does travel, yeah, but he likes to be more like know what you're doing when you're traveling, like how you guys are. Like if you're going to travel, there's kind of like a this is what we're doing throughout traveling. I mean, obviously you'll have like a chill day or two, but like still. I know, yeah, he's gone to Italy, Spain, and like some other places. So I know that he will travel in that sense because that is a deal breaker for me.
I was just wondering because I think a lot of people with like who can't do crowds a lot of times like also don't like airports or flying things like that.
Oh yeah, he hates flying. But also because of his stomach issues. Like a lot of it has to do with his stomach too, because like
That's like 100% Bill. And that's where it started with him.
yeah, it's a lot of the stomach issues. And so I'm like, well, first of all, you need to get help for your stomach issues. So he's getting a colonoscopy finally, and then doing all that shit. And so, but he did come down and it made me pleased, and that's all that matters.
Steps. That's perfect.
Yeah, but what he said, I was like, thank you for coming. And he was like, well, I'm just trying to like do stuff like for you. Because I do a lot of, like, I go and see him a lot. So like the least that he can do is like come and do these things with me. And so I'm glad that he's actually doing it.
Once you do the things, you realize that you can manage your anxiety in the moment.
Also, he's had like bad experience. His family, like at least his dad and his sister are like super not understanding when it comes to his stomach issues. So like every time that they go downtown or do stuff like that, it's like it's always like an inconvenience to them. But like he actually isn't in pain. Like his stomach is in pain. And it's always just an inconvenience. So I think for him, it's just whenever they do a lot of stuff like that, go downtown, go do family things in faraway places, it's always just like it's an issue. And he was like, the reason that I'm able to come is because it's like if I something happens with my stomach, I know that like you'll be there, like you understand. You get it. You're not gonna be judging me. You're not gonna be like stressing me out or making me feel bad for it. It's just like, yeah, it's happening. Like, let's go to the bathroom. That's it. I've had stomach issues too. It's not that hard to deal with them.
It's about understanding and being empathetic.
100%. And also as somebody who has it, it's just easy for me to know like when you have to go, you have to go. It's different from like when you have to go as a person with like normal gut issues. When you have to go with like stomach issues, like you know you gotta go. Or like it's gonna be bad soon. You're literally gonna shit your pants. Like it comes down to that for real.
I have been there, done that.
Literally the first time I hung out with like Aiden after us getting back together, I came and I was going and hanging out with their family at a restaurant or like a bar. And I came in and he was like, thank goodness you just missed it. I literally just shit my pants. We were talking about going to the city and he was like, I'm not gonna lie, I might have to bring an extra pair of underwear just in case. And I was like, okay. I was like, slay, you do that. I'm not gonna tell you not to come though. You just gotta do it.
You have to learn how to manage. You have to learn what you have to do, and you have to like, you can't let it hinder.
I've been held back by it. Don't get me wrong. I'm so familiar with what he's going through. Like, I went through the exact same thing in high school where, like, my life was like, because of my stomach, it was completely altered. And then I figured my shit out. First of all, you have to figure your shit out. Like, you can't just, like, have stomach issues, especially bad ones, and not do anything about it. Like, you have to go to a doctor, figure out your allergies, do something to, like, benefit yourself. And also just, like, it's gonna hurt no matter what. Might as well have it hurting while, like, you're seeing a really cool place.
Amen. Stomach issues.
Moving on. As we unwind this evening, it's important to take a little step back in life and look at some good words of aspiration or affirmation, if you will. They keep you going sometimes, or just kind of remind you to think extra, even if you're not really into those big affirmation stuff. It makes you just think for a split second.
100%. Well, and as I was recently told, I need to work on forgiveness. I was given a book about it.
Forgiveness is a topic that we love to talk about, especially when it's somebody that should be doing the forgiving instead. But I digress.
Well, we've just realized in this new year that we thought we would wrap it up with either like some words of wisdom, things to look forward to this week, or things that aggravate us, you know? Why not do a little bit of all? Dabble. We could dabble in all three.
Yeah.
If there's something that's, jamming your Glock, or if we want to end on a high note and talk about, what the world could offer you for the week and hope that you're, end on a good note. So I thought, why don't we just, with the new year, start out with some fun words. All of us have apps. What we've realized is that we are all app girls, and all of us have Oh my God, I love mine. And so I just had downloaded a new one. But we also have Moonly. I think all three of us do. Do you have that one too? Oh, well, me and Macy have both Moonly and the Chant. Is it Channy? Is that how you say it? We might not even be saying it correctly, but we both have those, and they like work off your astrological signs, and they're geared towards you specifically. So, but we love them, and so they, like kind of dabble a little bit in both. Like Moonly will like read your cards for the day.
And so the one that I'm on right now is called Channy, which is one that Alysia put me onto, which who was promoting it?
Oh, my girl, Kelsey Ballerini. Shout out, girl. Love you.
We do, and it's really nice. And right here, I have kind of for not a phrase, I guess it's more of like kind of a little paragraph that I'm gonna read off. So above it says Moon sign Libra. The moon is also in Libra. Lean into the wisdom of yes and. Explore questions from all sides before answering, but dare to make choices too. Remember that your needs are as important as everyone else's.
Oh, I like that. Snap.
I like that. Resonates. Honestly, this is what I want to take into the next week. That's kind of, I guess, how I'm gonna connect it. I want to take the yes and vibes, just do it. But also like get myself back on track in some areas. I need to go back to the gym, y'all. I've been saying it for so long and I need to just do it.
Amen. I've been trying to focus on health.
Start getting into habits. The habits are so hard to just lock down and stay involved in.
What do they say? It's like 14 days to create a habit, but only 7 days to break it.
Something that jams my Glock is the fact that I will be going to the gym for like 4 months consecutively and I skip a week and I can't get back into it. What is with that? Like genuinely, am I just like not mentally tough enough?
No, it's like it's universal. Like that, it's just the way it is. Creating habits is actually so difficult and good ones, but like just creating a habit is actually something that can be so difficult. Well, this year we will work on better health, better eating habits, better love for ourselves all around.
Oh, absolutely.
We're doing it. We're doing dance videos before we sit down to do this podcast, which is a nice little form of cardio because by the time I'm done filming that, even though it might not look like I'm doing much bopping around in those videos, if you watch them, she's moving. She got an ankle issue from past issues, hence the reason why Macy's got to work on her joints and make sure that she can withstand life. But I'm moving and a shaking and I'm getting sweaty. And me and Macy are now doing Friday dancing and it's a routine.
That has been nice where I do feel like I'm getting a little move on because by the time we end up like finishing like doing the rehearsal and dancing, it's been like almost like 45 minutes to an hour.
It really is like a mini workout. Like you can constitute that as like a tiny, like we're getting a little baby workout. Like I don't want to call it like an actual workout, but like a tiny little blip of a workout.
We got so hot. That's how you know our heart's pumping, you know?
Oh, it asks me if I'm working out. It asks me if I'm working out. It does all the time. It correlates it to fitness class or housework. So it asks if I'm doing something. Guys, I hope your week is as great and chaotic as ours is. I hope you see yourself out. I hope you pick out your tea that you would like to bring to your salon and have them seep and it doesn't fall apart on you. And I really, really, really hope that you say yes and to all of the great things that are going to happen to you this week. Have a great evening. Grab your jacket because it's fucking cold out. See you next week.
Bye. It's Nora, Alysia, and Macy.
We are a girly podcast and we are on the floor.
Did I go the wrong way?
You definitely did.